Hello and welcome back, engineers. I went ahead and did a basic uh, underside and landing gear for the shuttle, put on some lights on it, and painted it up for myself. Since it's my personal shuttle, its main color is, of course, purple. I'm in a really bad place lighting wise, but it works out really nice. It's a nice little ship. I did go ahead and put in a pair of emotion controllers and event controllers. I'm not sure what I will use them for on this ship, but I will probably find something. I like using the emotion controllers. They're fun. I parked it and the termite over here. So SF01, 02, 03, and now it's time to build the 04, which is going to be a fighter. And I want to start out with a sorter that's pushing in because I want it to specifically pull its ammo into the ship. And let's see. I think I will actually just use a medium cargo container here. Let's see, forward or backward, or forward or side. Let's go like that with it. So this is actually going to be where all of my ammo should go. It should hold plenty of ammo. I mean, it's personal ammo, but still. Let's see. Shift F10 to bring this up. And let's see. I know I'm going to have auto cannons on it, so let's just grab a bunch of auto cannon ammunition. How much can this hold? 140 auto cannon clips or magazines. So yeah, this should definitely work. Let's go ahead and pull those out of there. All right, so back to 2. Down 1, I think it is, yep. And here I'm able to go ahead and put on a couple of these to expand my connectivity. I really want a upper facing rear cockpit on the fighter so that it's less likely to be hit right off the bat. So let's figure that out real quick. Number 6. So I'll probably need large connection on bottom would be a good way to do things, but I don't know. I could use this cockpit again, but I've used it for all of the other ships. The industrial cockpit, whoops. I really like the industrial cockpit, but it would just be begging to be shot. Overall, the classic fighter cockpit might be the way to go. And that's a small port on the bottom, way in the back. It also has a large port in the back. So let's see, what else are we going to need here? We've already got the medium cargo container to hold the ammunition. Probably going to need an O2H2 generator and perhaps an oxygen tank. So 6. So this overall is going to be the middle of the ship. And for the most part, I don't want everything closely packed together like I'm doing right here. I want to spread things out more so I can do some interesting shapes. But I have to do what I have to do right now. So let's go ahead and spin this here. And that converter keeps the conveyors going, though everything beyond the medium cargo container is small port stuff only, which is fine. All of the ammo is small port. So let's go back to number 9 and number 6. It's on the very end here, so butt that up to the front. And there we have our rear cockpit. Let's see. I could put a turret here, and I might, and then armor around it. A Gatling turret, because that's the only turret that actually uses large port for the small grids anymore. Let's see. Here you have the Gatling turret, which has large. Okay, so the rocket also uses large. I don't use rockets much, so I didn't know that. The assault cannon uses small port. Autocannon uses small port. And I honestly want an autocannon turret on here. But that might be further affront. So first, let's go ahead and grab number 4 and go to the armored. Dog is apparently having sneezing issues behind me. Quit auto turning on me. Okay, I turned that off now. 2, 3, 4. All right. And then back to number 2. I can put a couple of assault cannons on here if I use conveyor junction. And that will allow me a couple of inner and outer guns here. 2 inner and 3 outer on each side. Plus the turrets. Well, let's actually say 2 outer, because I'll want to go 3 blocks farther. And that's going to be for some decoys I put in to try and keep them from shooting main bits of the ship. Let's see. I could put another connector here, actually, for like a free connector, because what I have on the bottom is only pulling ammo in. If I need to use this to carry other things, being able to see that connector as I'm connecting up would be absolutely wonderful. And then let's see. I do need to think about armor on this. So fortunately, having to bump these up one more for my assault turrets I want to use is, or autocannon turrets I want to use, is not bad. So there's 2 autocannon turrets. And I also want some autocannons. Let's see, I don't have weapons there. Did I seriously just put on turrets? Let's get rid of the jukebox. Block weapons. There's got to be, yeah, the rocket launcher here is the parent for it. I don't like any of the rocket launchers. Gatling guns are, of course, useful. But I think mostly I want this to be for autocannons. Not entirely autocannons. I am going to put some Gatling guns on here because they're just really useful. And I might put a couple of Gatling turrets on here as well. Let's see. A main railgun would be absolutely beautiful. Just a single easy railgun to fire and knock out some targets. Oh, I would almost be able to aim that right here. But I could also drop below it and put a camera and use that to be able to aim forth with it. The autocannons themselves also have pretty long range, and I missed a couple here. Get those in, and main thing I was looking for was the Gatling cannons, because I want a few of these up here on the upper bit. So yes, this is a flying weapons platform. Now let's go ahead and get some armor on here. I was originally thinking I would bring it forward some more, but overall this looks pretty intimidating. Little bullpup fighter, and that might wind up being its name, is like Bulldog or something. Let's see. For armor, let's go to 4. There's no point on a fighter doing anything other than heavy armor. So let's just go ahead and pull that strip across. Ah, barrels, get out of my way. So like pretty much everything else I build, it's not going to look pretty. Should absolutely get the job done. Those are light armor. Silly me. And I need decoys. So let's get... I still haven't put gyros on here, or power, or thrusters. Let's get rid of the speed modules here. For the decoys. Put a decoy on each end here. It's fairly close to the guns, but hopefully far enough away that they won't actually get trashed. Go back to number 4. Armor out in front of those. I actually want to armor in front of these as well. Just want the armor to have a reason to be here. So slope that up a bit. Save over here. Number 3. Oof, that is loud. Alright, so I want some armor around this thing too. Actually, let's... try doing it this way. How does this work? So I gotta look a bit more like a sight, kind of, sort of. Very curious to see how this thing works. So looky here, I've got a few places perfect for gyroscopes. Whoops, one button. Come down here. Look up a bit because it's being a bit weird with things. Alright. Come back under here, do the same thing. So this gives me 8 gyroscopes. I wonder if that will be enough. We absolutely will see. I want... Not the sci-fi, the warfare. So let's switch those out for the warfare thrusters. Oh, come on, you can work. There we go. So one towards the outside here, on the inside. This is to make sure I have ample turning force, or ample driving force forward. And then let's do these two here. I think that's more than far enough away that they won't burn things. We will need up and down. So there's the downs. All right, just surround these like that. And then we'll just need the side-to-side thrust, which we can slip in here. As long as I keep the nose towards the enemy, this is actually a pretty decent little setup. I am not capable of maneuvering around them and switching other parts of my ship around to take beatings elsewhere. Actually, yeah, let's move this up higher. There we go. Let's see how this thing works. It doesn't, because I forgot a very key piece of equipment. And did I leave myself room for it? Batteries. This is an ion ship, so it needs lots of battery power. This is going to be too close to that large thruster in the front, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe not. Let's try it for now and see if they blow up. As stated, they need lots of power. That's going to be in front of those. Let's see. These are going to be up too high. They'll become targets. Perhaps on this side here, on the outside of the thrusters. There we go, that gives me 4 batteries. Now let's see if this is going to work. Doesn't look like it's burning the batteries. All right, let's see here. Let's go ahead and get our basic groups in and everything. SF04. I'll figure out a name for it at some point. Let's see. Gyroscopes. And auto cannons I want on a group, so I can just get rid of those. let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16. Okay, we've got 16, but it writes it out in a really fun and interesting way. So AC16 is what I'm going to save that as. SF04 AC turrets. Save that, get those out of here. Grab the Gatling guns, SF04 Gat power. Those out of here. Thrusters. So many thrusters. SF04 main thrust. Now let's grab everything that says backward, which should speed 2. SF04 brakes. Grab the batteries. This is the crux of this ship, is it is a battery-powered machine. If those get taken out, it is donezo. SF04, I forgot what ship I was working on for a second. Okay, connector 1 is main. Actually, let's just go ahead and call that ventral connector. And I'll get rid of all of this. SF04. Dorsal connector. SF04. Conveyor sorter. I want to whitelist. And it's going to be the specific ammos, so I need autocannon magazines, and I think it's the 5.56 45 millimeter that I need. Set that to drain all, and now I can turn that off. Don't need to see it. Decoy 1 and 2, don't need to see those. Don't need to see that. All right, there we go. So, on page 1, we want our basic things, which is the battery power over here, recharge on and off, followed by the thrusters. There we go, main thrust, on and off the gyros, brakes up front. We notice I have no antenna on here. That is a choice to just run black on this. All right, so block weapons. I want the railgun first, the autocannon second, and the Gatling gun third. I did forget to put a camera up here, so let's just rectify that real quick. There it is. The word camera should be on top. It's hard to see, but it is there. And the dot should be on the bottom left. The camera can often be a pain to set up, but once you've got that, not so bad. Let's see, we want camera on number 5, view. All right, let's just grab this for a moment. Put it there. That'll give us a target. Well, let's see. I happen to know that there are 2 large hydrogen tanks in the back. I'm on the rail gun. Let's just go ahead and fire that through. Okay, so does the small railgun not penetrate this armor? It's got one more shot when it reloads here in a moment. You can see the bar slowly ticking up. It's also slowly counting down in the bottom there. Okay, so that can't hurt the heavy armor of a large ship. All of my autocannons can. Okay, so let's try this again. Can it penetrate the bridge? The bridge it can penetrate. I want to see what kind of penetration the small railgun does. So, entered here, took out one of the command chairs, kept going right out here. Not bad. The ship is listing slowly to the right. My goodness. So the autocannons are more useful than the rest of it without question. Let's go ahead and delete this mess. So much mess. Okay, I think that's all of it. Yeah. All right, so I don't know what I want to call it yet, but it's absolutely an ugly duckling with a lot of murder on its side. This thing is just kind of a spaceborne war crime. It is, however, I'm not going to bother putting any landing gear on it, I don't think. I should put some armor on the bottom, though, just to be a bit smart. Let's see, I can't put armor directly there, but I can put this piece here, then attach that. I just don't want to take any chances here, so let's go ahead and get this itself armored up, and then put armor above it. I'll have to find the corners for these bits, but that's fine. Who knows, it might actually look better once I get all this armor put in. I think I need the corners. Yeah, there we go. Those were much easier to find than I thought they would be. This is still heavy armor. That's the main reason for all the thrusters, isn't to make it fast maneuvering, it's just to make it able to move at a decent speed in combat and to get to combat. All right, now let's go ahead and armor this up a bit. Let's go to there with the armor. Okay, took that one too far. There we go. Well, let's only go one more line there, and then do that. Trim this back a little bit. Go back to the gentler slope here. All right. And this gives me a bit of room up front for armoring here. And here. And I think this needs to come out to more itself. There we go. And let's go ahead and turn this into more of an armored box on these. Oh no, I might actually add a few more of these off each side. So I'll leave the end open for now. And then just... it keeps changing how everything is going to turn, and that is not helping me. All right, there. I've already got that. Okay. So where was the decoys? Over here. Let's go 3 on each side. All right, so that should work out well. And then there we go. And I can go ahead and pull these in towards the rest of the armor a little bit, just to make it look nicer. Man, I hope this thing still flies. This is a lot of heavy armor. So much heavy armor. Down here. And for color on this one, thinking it'll likely be black. Like I said, it's trying to run dark. If I have to bring it out, the only signals really coming off of it should be those decoys. And that's not so much signal as it is just a marker for the weapons to go after. I know this little hitch in the back looks weird, but again, full heavy armor. I want this thing to be able to move. The rail guns are scary, but I want to see these things firing. It slowly rises the front of my ship. But yeah, there's the nice little SF04 weapons flying weapons platform. I said fighter. I wanted to build a fighter. I've just built a flying weapons platform. It's kind of close. At least it can take a beating, but it's going to lay out a lot more of a beating than it'll take. Oh, it helps if I use multiple angles when landing here. You can also, of course, put cameras underneath your ship to help with lining up your landing and such. Actually, I already have the other two ships blueprinted. Let me go ahead and lift this one off a little bit. Paint it with black. And for a little bit of comical reprieve, I'll do my weapons in red. Fine, you want to be that way? I can just paint it from the barrels, even though the barrels don't paint. It's just more difficult and time consuming. It's not impossible. You have done naught but waste the time of a person with too much time. I think I painted something in the back over here red. No? Well, all right then. Just one more red gun. The red gun. There we go. And like I said, I was back over here so I can hit Control B. Yeah, there's a good block to look at. And that puts it in here. You want to get it from the back or the front on a centralized block so that it's easier if you're planning on printing these. And sure, that gives a bad picture, but then you can just come around and get the point that you want it to be pictured at. I don't want the SF04 in the picture. Even though the white will make things pop out better. Then you can go back to your F10 menu. I have to be careful here because I use Alt F10 to start and stop my recording, which is why you may catch the cheat menu, admin menu open, because that's opened with Alt F10, failing on my side. So let's go to SF, not SD. Go to the SF04 and take screenshot. And now when I go back in here, SF, the 4 has its screenshot there from this particular angle. All right, so like I said, this one's not meant to ever land on anything other than the mothership. And now that I've got this ugly thing completed, the next thing I've got to do is finish up the SF01 lip strew, which means I actually have to get to the part I've been putting off, armoring this thing. I also have to put in all of my gyroscopes on the lower crawl deck. The upper crawl deck, I need to put in my gravity and a few extra gyroscopes, because I did lose some gyroscope space with how I did things around here with my airlocks. And I had also found out when we blew up the other one that I forgot to put these gyroscopes I do have in the right color. So let me just go ahead and fix that real quick. Everything back here is all in the right color. Right? Yeah. I can stuff more batteries back here, or I can stuff this with light armor just to make it tougher. I haven't entirely decided what I'm going to do with that yet. But yeah, I do need to armor this thing And the entrances I keep using right here, that's just going to be entrances into the nacelles for being able to repair maintenance shafts off the sides here. So that's not even proper doors. The only doors on the ship in and out are going to be right back here. And I think those are going to be attached to the outer armor with a walkway around and stuff. I'm thinking about putting wings off the side that are there mostly for aesthetics, but also instead of having my landing pads on the roof and bottom of the ship, I could put my landing pads on those wing structures, pull out connections through to them. So I have connectors on the sides on port and starboard behind this light armor in the back. In any case, I have been rambling for a while now. If you liked today's video, go ahead and hit the like button down below. If you want to see more from me, there's always also the subscribe button. Until next time, have a good one.